I was gonna wait to push record. It's one of them times again where I don't know if I have quite enough information in my head to have 33 minutes worth. But who knows? Who knows? It's something about a lot of things are just pointing to July 4th, and it's what happens when you well, you go on YouTube and you see what the world is up to and the things that are taking place in that area. And I give credit to the JK bug out guy that breaks down the pet goat too. I think he's on to something with 4th of July and well, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th. And I was on to that date back in May because I was doing a 40-day period from May 24th, and then that landed on June 2nd. Pretty sure, right? 24th, 7, 8, yeah, 2, 30, 40. So it was a 40-day period. It was my peace offering, you know, from back then. I'm pretty sure people accepted it. They just haven't told me yet. I feel like a lot of people accepted that peace offer, and it's just, you know, it's nothing special. It's just me saying, hey, I understand what you're doing. I get it. So many people need to learn something. Oh, I have a quick story. Speaking of learning something, I go to my job, and there's a parking lot, and on both sides. Now, I've been working this job for like at least 6 months, and I go there, I park in that lot, and the lady that owns it, she owns, I guess, you know, like the stores in front of it on Spring Garden Street. And so I park at the back there. I used to park inside of the job, but it's getting a little cramped. A few times she's told people to move, or she's gonna get them towed, and you know, I'm like, I mean, everybody else does it. I learned it by watching them. So today, I pull into the parking spot. I get my tool belt, my ladder, you know, and I have something else in my other hand. This lady's like, I can't park there. I'm like, all right, fine. I'm telling you, you can't park there. What do you do? I'm like, all right, well, let me. And she wouldn't let me talk. You know, it's one of those. Oh man, boy, was today a good testing period for me. I figured out why I got so irritated inside. Not outside, inside. It's okay, you know. When you get irritated inside, and that's how you feel, just as long as what comes out of your mouth is a little bit calmer than how you feel inside. Man, is that a test for you to take on. If you can speak calmly when you feel like you want to flip your wig, don't feel bad because you felt anger inside. Not at all. Feel better that what came out of your mouth was not anger. So the reason being is, well, I was just going to take I'm like, all right, well, let me just, you know, I couldn't even get words in. The lady was so hostile and, you know, so rich, and it's like there's so many parking spots, and that parking lot was never filled up. Every single day that I've been at work, there's at least I'd say there's 50 parking spots, right? Altogether, 25 and 25. There's, at the most there's ever been was like 30 cars taking up the spots. At the most. So it's not like if you take that parking spot, somebody else can't park there to get to her stores. All right? Now I understand it's her property. I get it. So I tried calmly to say, all right, fine, just give me 30 seconds. Can I just put like my tool on the other side of the fence? Please? Jezebel? Do you think I can do that or no? I can't. No, I can't even talk to you. And then she starts busting out her camera, like she's gonna take pictures of my tag, like, and she's like, "Oh, you're a wise guy, huh?" I'm like, okay. All right, Satan. You know what? Go ahead. You sure you can cut off right in front of me? It don't matter. You want to go to it? Hey. So I'm like, good morning, Satan. How are you this morning? Oh, you're going to use another vessel to try to get me. The perfect timing, too, because I had never seen a lady, except for one other time when she was storming up and down the pathway there. Just like really bitching up a storm about these parking spots. And I guess I can't help it because I try to put myself in her shoes, right? Or the other way around. And so Satan, okay, hold on. Let me get back to Satan real quick. Satan is there, all right? He's there. You know what I said? After as it happened. I'm telling you, all right? I don't like to swear. I don't need to swear, but I'm telling you, Satan, right? His influence was thriving in that woman. Because I tried to say, I'm like, ma'am, can I? I'm a wise guy. Huh? I'm like, hey, SJD, how's it going? I almost forgot. Hey, look, whether you're acting or Satan truly is in this woman, which he was, I said, thank you, Satan, thank you, because you know what? You've tempted my feelings of anger to get angry at this woman that, you know how it is when you try to conversate or you have a disagreement with somebody and they don't want you to talk and they talk over you. That is when you go like this. All right. I see where you're at. Look, it's a moment of being tested. I thank Satan for it because you didn't get me there, buddy. All right, little brother. I see you tried. Look, I can appreciate how you try, but the fact is, God has already given me this patience, this ability to flick that damn switch at a second's notice. I just need to see the situation and flick the switch. I refuse to let anybody get me angry. I absolutely refuse to let anybody piss me off ever again. All right? Now, using a woman is, well, it's Satan's tactic. It is, you know. He still tries to get to my wife. She's been able to flick the switch more, you know. Yeah, there's like a dimmer. Sometimes she has to dim it down. I used to have a dimmer that had a timer on it. It's like, there we go. There's, and I'm fuming, steaming, just, and then it finally, it's like, ding, and it's like, all right, whatever. So Satan's presence was full force, Because what's the odd? What are the odds of the timing of me pulling up and parking in a spot where, I mean, there must have been, I think there was about 5 other cars parked there, and she was running up a store. So, do I thank God for that? Do I thank God for that? I mean, I know He created Satan. I know but it's like we all know that. Obviously, everything that you thank God for, or you thank anybody for, it's God's anyway. Anything at all. If you're thanking God for something, well, for this, what this person did, well, God created the person, okay? If you're thanking God for, I don't know, you found the $10 on the ground and you're hungry, right? Look, God created the trees that the paper was made from to make the freaking money. Yeah, Satan is the ruler of it, but God is the creator of it. So it's a dead given that you can thank God for every single possible thing in existence, period. However, you don't always go to the boss like, thanks, boss, you know? When the employees are the ones doing the job, you know, you thank the employee. You can always thank the boss because the boss is the one that hired the employees. You see what I'm getting? So the thanking was to Satan because it was he all he did was just sharpen my the patience that I work on every second of the day. It's not minute to minute, hour to hour. It's not day by day. It's every second that comes by, and you know how those thoughts come in your head. At certain times you didn't realize what the thoughts were, but now that you're paying attention, you kind of get where they're coming from. Every second of the day, a thought can try to sneak in, and if you don't believe that Satan exists, well, then you're going to be the dummy that believes that those thoughts are yours when they're not. And then when you get it that it's not your thoughts and it's his, and you can flick the switch, you know what I mean? It's like, it really is. It is simple. I mean, it's not easier said than done. It's the knowledge of what it is, and then the ability to apply the knowledge to get the desired ending of your whatever I'm trying to say is, whatever the situation is, when you can flick the switch and you get rid of it, and after all of it, you're back to just even. That's all you need to be at, is at an even keel. Anyway, I look at it like this. First thing that pops in my head, not because it's her property and that all the parking spots are taken, because that's not the case. It's the fact that since I've been there, and again, if that was me, if I owned that property, if I was having a problem with trucks trying to deliver stuff, if I was having a problem with people are complaining there's no parking and people are working over there and there's parked there, if I was having a problem with the flow of whether it's cash flow or people flow into my stores, then I would really start to enforce the law, all right, of that no parking in certain parking spots. I would, but I get this too. Look, doesn't it say no parking? Well, yeah, it does. It says no parking in certain spots, but not all of them. It says in certain areas. So, I mean, I think you have to put no parking in every one, right? For everybody to get it, because not everybody knows. But this is me. If that's my parking spot, my parking lot, and there's plenty of parking spots all the time, I don't even think I would even say anything to anybody. Because what is it doing? Is it hurting me? Is it hurting me? No. All right. Do I have at least 2 cloaks, jacket, coats, tunics? Do I have at least 2? Like, do I have one for myself and there's another one, let alone 30 other tunics, right? I think that's the word. Whatever that Bible verse is, it brought me right there. Like, don't you have plenty? Don't you have enough? And then the first thing I thought after that was, oh, God, I cannot wait until the money collapses. I cannot wait until all the money just goes to naught. Now, when that happens, I probably won't see the lady, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. Inside, I'm going to say to myself, good. Now, what are you going to do with the parking spots, lady, huh? What are you going to do now? Nobody's coming to your store because the money, the merchants are all going to be like, money, what am I going to do? That is what's going to get their attention and just drop them to their knees. When they finally realize that money to them means nothing, and they had all that money and just remember what you did when you had that money. Oh man. So, hey Satan, can't wait for that, you know. Can't wait for the fear that God told you, literally told you to go do. Well, he didn't even have to tell you. You did it willingly. You already know that that's what he wants for you to do. And you enjoy it, so you're going to do it. And I completely understand, and I am all for it. Money collapse. Because as soon as it does, and the only reason why I say this is because I see the end result. If you're looking in the bushes, like trying to, and the trees are in the way of the forest, and if you can't see over, then you're going to be fearful, and you're going to be like, what the hell? Why would you want money to collapse, Rob? Why are you looking forward to your channel getting shut down? Hopefully tomorrow on your 42nd full birthday. It'd be a great present, wouldn't it? Hell yeah, it would be. But why are you looking forward to everything getting shut down? And why do you think that July 4th is going to be like when YouTube really gets shut down? Because something's going to blow up and they're going to like say, well, no more YouTube or whatever. So it's because this is all an act, and it's all about Hollywood being involved. The ones that are watching. I mean, you guys are watching. I've known that there's some of you out there that are watching. I've said it before. It's going to be interesting to meet the people that have been watching. That, well, people know who you are, you know, in the world, but you're not going to say to anybody, you know, you're not going to go publicly who you watch on YouTube, but that's why, because I understand that Hollywood is, their fingerprint is right on everything, and Steve is the ringleader, you know. It's just know it to be a fact. And we're gonna see that the ones that have stuck with this channel. I mean, even if you're still assigned to me, and you still can't stand me, that's fine, man. You know, I am okay with that, because I know that the end result's gonna happen, and then when that does happen, that's when your mind will finally change, because I understand there's still that pride that's right there. You remembered all the, you know, I'm a date setter and I herald camping, and you don't really understand because you're not on the inside like that, but you're in the know when it comes to what you need to know on YouTube. That's it. You don't need to know what's going on behind those scenes, and then behind the scenes of those scenes, you still don't know. And then when you finally get to the scene that's behind those scenes that are behind the next scene, that's when you finally see the veil opened up. And then that's why when I see all this fear and everything, I'm so looking forward to seeing bombs, explosions, nuclear, just absolute complete destruction, annihilation, and death everywhere. Because it's all a movie. Until I see it with my own eyes, which I won't, by the way, then I'm going to just stick with it's all an act. So that's why I can't wait for all these things to happen. That's why I can't wait for the money to collapse, because the people that were rude, ignorant, the ones that, there's a few people that still owe me money. Whatever. You can keep it. because my cousin owes, it's like $1,500, and he sold him a truck, and then he tried to accuse me of breaking the window and stealing my own radio. That was a good one. That was a you know, Satan runs thick in that kid. And there was a boss of mine that owes me $1,900 that never paid up. And my brother-in-law, I bought him a truck, and this is the one that when I went to jail, he let me stay at his house afterwards, a home plan. He was married to my sister, and well, not anymore. And he was never a nice guy. You know, he's one of those people that are always bitter, angry, hates everything and everybody, and it's everybody else's fault, and he's right. Like as stubborn as a bull. So anyway, I bought him a truck to get him, because he was like a bum and he didn't have a job or a place to stay. I gave him a job, bought him a truck, set him up, put him on the job site. He ruined it by getting fired, by drinking all the time, smelling like alcohol coming in. So anyway, make a long story short, the guy owes me like $1,100 for that truck. I can't wait. I can't wait until that money just goes down. And Antichrist is truly rising up on the 4th of July. Just is. Because back to the beginning of the video I was talking about, but I had that short story that, well, fine. I needed to get the story out. It took like 18 minutes. The royal baby, the baby, okay? They're trying to make it seem like it's the man-child, the Prince Harry, right? Is that his name? Harry or Henry? I keep forgetting if it's Harry or Henry. It's something like that. But Meghan Markle, right, and Prince Harry, they're having this baby, and the baby's going to be christened on the 4th of July. And everything's aiming towards the 4th of July. And that from east to west, you know, which started March 15th with the shootings in the church, and it was the church theme for the next 3 months, all the way from east, guess what, to the west. The last time I heard about a church shooting was April 27th over in Poway, San Diego, California, which is, by the way, it's on the west. And the theme started from the east, which was New Zealand, the shooting at Christ Church. 3 months straight until the beginning of from east to west again, which was the 7.2. It's like ding ding ding, oh, 7.2 earthquake that started over in New Zealand. It was a 7.2, right? Like July 2nd. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it was. And it happened on June 15th. Today's the 27th. So 12 days ago it happened, and that's the beginning of the next phase, which is earthquakes from east to west. Don't you know that the major biggest earthquake is going to be over in California? Because it's from east New Zealand to west. All right? Earthquakes, New Zealand, 7.2, which ties into the lunar eclipse that's going to happen on July 2nd from guess where? That's right, New Zealand, from east to west. So that's the benefit of pushing record and talking, and then, oh, wow, I just figured that one right out. As it was a 3-month period before because I go by Mr. Mouthpiece, right? At this time, it's Paul Begley. The 3-month period from March 15th with the New Zealand from east to west, the church theme of the shooting. What's going to happen next? Going to some more church? Yeah, I think so. So bombings. Yep. ISIS is going to claim responsibility. Yep. That's what's going to happen over in Sri Lanka, and then it happened at that same exact date and the exact theme of what happened. And then the Poway was the same exact date on the 27th. It was the white guy that was the white supremacist, and he did go into the study with the revolver and shoot up the church, and his name was John, by the way, and John was helping Steve over there in Michigan. So it's like everything ties in. He has the world script in his hand. I've told you that plenty of times. And the actual world script in his hand. Right? But now I understand Steve's role too. Steve is, well, he's going to get some people to turn back to God. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. Damn sure is. It's just not the way I would do it, but he's not me, you know? He's not me, so I'll do it my way. So anyway, that's the east to west theme. It starts in New Zealand and it ends over there in California. Maybe Alaska, but as you see, now it's earthquakes from Mr. Mouthpiece. He's not going to stop talking about earthquakes because that's exactly what he continues to keep doing. And the plagues and everything else that started on May 21st because they're playing out the 5-month period. That's why it's going from east to west. And then the tsunamis are going to be from east to west. So if we go, so June, July, August, September, if you go to September 15th and it's a 3-month earthquake situation, and then the 15th of October and the 18th would be 33 days left, and somewhere along the lines the sun has to disappear for 3 days. Just that's a given. And so it, you know, I'm my last, you know, my last date that I could possibly come up with would be October 21st as the final, when everybody switches gear and comes over to Team Christ. That's what I'm predicting. I'm not predicting anything else that is actually going to happen, really happen, like in the world, like a rapture, fakery type going up, or the bombs that are going to happen or anything. I'm telling you, the end, forget about all the predictions in between. I'm telling you what the end result is. The end result is we get to, it's what we say rules. And what we say is what Christ wants us to say. And that's his purpose. And then on top of that, Satan and Christ, they misunderstood each other all these years. And now it's like they finally sat down and met, and they're like, all right, man, I love you, brother. I love you too, man. I'm sorry. Look, I thought I was a little stuck up sometimes, but what do you expect? People said I was perfect. Like, come on, I'm a human. I was born, you know? I was born on earth. At one point in time, I was doing things I wasn't supposed to do. And then all of a sudden, it's like, God told me I'm the Messiah. I'm like, oh, okay. And then Satan's like, well, look, it's cool because I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being an asshole all the time. I could ease up my anger. You're right. I mean, I learned from you, Christ. You're pretty cool, actually. It's like Christ is like Satan, like, so are you, man. I mean, just don't lie to me. I can't stand when people lie to me. And Satan's like, all right, fine. Look, I won't lie to you, but if anybody wants to believe my lies, that's on them. And then Christ is like, I know, it's free will, right? And then that's them reconciling back together. That's why it's something Satan learned now. Like, as we're going along, the same thing in the flesh, it's something that Satan has learned over these past 8 years, is that he found a new appreciation. He knows how to love, but he was looking Panov in all the wrong places. And then finally he met Christ, and it's like they finally had like a sit down. And there was a mutual respect, and they're back hanging out with Dad, right? They're like going golfing with Pop and everything, and everything's cool, man. It's gonna stay that way for an eternity. That's why, because Satan has learned something new that he never learned before. But that's because falling as Lucifer, the bright and morning star, he wanted to be like God, and then don't you know, in the end, he is. He's just like God. Ain't that something, man? All this time, it's like Lucifer wanted to be like God. He fell, the angel, and it's like everybody hates him, and they give him a bad rap, and he's misunderstood, and it's like people are you get frustrated because they don't understand you. They have a bad rap, and then now, after all that time, he rises up like Christ, and then Christ at the same time fell like Lucifer. He understood the same thing, the spirit. They understand each other. That's why it's going to continue to stay that way from generation to generation. Looks like an accident here. It looks legit. Looks like a real legit accident. Not too bad, but got the little crashed windows there. So anyway, east to west. That's the continuance of it. The sun still has to drop down for 3 days. And look, there's a lot of people in Hollywood that don't know. There's a lot of people that Steve knows that, look, you don't have to worship Steve, as the Antichrist. I've proven that. You don't have to. There's not, like, yeah, I mean, you can be highly surveilled afterwards, but they're just, what's that song? The paparazzi song. They're gonna do paparazzi, or we're gonna follow you until you love me, or something like that. To me, the song represents you're hating it, right? But then, because they're your enemies, and then you learn to love your enemies. That's why the Bible says love your enemies, because God knew that in the end your enemies are going to love you back, because they just didn't know any better. So east to west, keep that in mind. Oh, the 4th of July, yeah. So the Antichrist rises up. I have a feeling that if Trump doesn't get shot or assassinated, attempted, or something doesn't blow up the way it seems like it is, and just remember the event, okay? Forget about the date. Remember the event by all the events I said would happen the way that they are, one after another, and Trump is involved with this assassination. They're constantly talking about assassination, trigger finger, JFK and Jr. and all this stuff. So they're putting all this out there. If it doesn't happen on the 4th of July, well, then it looks like it's gonna go all the way to October 18th, until October 18th to the 21st, because I'm looking at it as we're getting shut down, and it's going to be for 3.5 months, for a times and a half, that there is no truth on YouTube, and we just have to watch what's happening, and it's going to just go. It's going to be so horrible. And but hey, the good news is I believe we all get to start to talk to each other after that, because if I can't get on YouTube anymore, I can't. Who am I going to tell? You know, what am I going to say? Well, I'm going to call people, but just make sure you have my email, hourrobinshood@gmail.com.